Hey guys, welcome back. So, we just went into the Flare dungeon, and given our map roll, the Great Marsh, which is over here, is actually going to be an optional zone. So, with that in mind, I'm thinking I'm just gonna keep going. I don't see too much of a reason to go back there, just because it's a chance for us to be dying when we're not actually making any progress. I mean, we would get a bit of extra XP, but besides that, I think I'm just gonna call it a wash and just keep going towards Kurast, or Lower Kurast, or whatever it's called. Kurast Bazaar, I think, is the next quest. So, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going here. I mean, if I feel like it, maybe later on I'll go back and grab the waypoint just to soothe my obsession with getting all the waypoints, but I'm gonna not sweat over it for now. It seems our weapon just is breaking. Now, I believe our repair costs are gonna be insanely high because of our rune word helmet. So I'm just gonna throw that on the ground real quick. And there you go. Of course, there's other ways to get around that, but I'm just being lazy. So the Flare dungeon should lead to Lower Kurast, which then spawns a whole chain of like ruined city zones, which leads to both Quest 3 and Quest 4. Which we've been making good progress so far. Normally Act 3 takes a while, but we've been able to knock out the quests here pretty quickly. Of course, there's still a lot to go. We're technically only done 2 quests, but we're getting there. I don't know what level we're gonna be when we get to Mephisto. Obviously we want to be 24 at least, but getting much higher, I don't know how much of a stretch that's gonna be. I say obviously 24 for Holy Shield, which I mentioned in the Duriel video, that if Duriel was kicking her ass, gonna want Holy Shield. The potential problem is that Duriel doesn't really care about your chance to block, but it will be useful for the council who have a decent amount of physical damage. So, it won't be a total waste, and of course, the more levels the better. Going through these quests, we'll get 5 more stat points on this, so we can get more health or whatever we're looking for. Probably going to continue my practice of staying mostly even on stat distribution, just because I want to keep my block chance fairly high, although come 24 we can let it slack a bit, because as I mentioned, Holy Shield's going to bridge the gap, and that's the main thing we're looking to use our decks for. I'm swarmed here a bit, but wasn't too bad. Another wand. Haven't been using many potions so far. Nothing on it. So, I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about Act 3 in general. I know from a lot of my friends when I talk to them about it, this is usually their least favorite act, although it's sometimes split up between Act 2 and Act 3, I would say, for least favorites. I probably would agree, but not necessarily because I dislike these 2 acts, it's just I like other acts more. I think Act 1 and 5 are very strong acts. They're just pretty fun to go through. And Act 4 is pretty compact, but it does exactly what you need it to do. The final showdown with Diablo is really pretty fun, and the Hellforge is a pretty interesting quest, and Israel gets you skill points, so like it's very, like I said, it's very compact, but it does exactly what it's set out to do, which is high rewards and big fights. So I see you, Mr. Shaman. Not sneaking up on me. We'll know we're getting into Kurast when I think it's a giant wood elemental thing named Storm Tree or something. Something like that. Ironically, it's, or not, I guess not ironically, but unfortunately, his name is not Treehead Woodfist, even though that would probably be a more accurate title, but I guess the guy in Act 1 called dibs, so he's just out of luck. But we're probably heading in the correct direction. It's just going to be up here somewhere. It's usually big gateway, and boom, big tree elemental guy. That kind of thing. If I'm remembering this zone correctly. Which I'm pretty sure I am. Oh, yep. Storm Tree, yeah. And he is lightning enchanted. So, need to be careful. Take out all of his friends first, let our merc finish off him, and there we go. That was painless. Pretty much once you get through Act 2, you get quite used to fighting lightning enchanted mobs, so hopefully everyone just gets better at handling it. It's pretty much just a lesson in caution. Don't run into everything. So we are mostly out of the flare area at this point. So there is a pretty strong argument to switch to our Gorefoot, whatever, at this point. So next time I'm back in town I might switch in those boots. The main advantage is just a bit extra defense, and I think it has mana leech. Although really I haven't seen us having any problems with mana so far, but still might be a good idea. Can do that right now, I guess. We'll probably hold on to the boots regardless, so it's not a huge decision. I'm not sure if I should be holding on to magic find rings, just because I'm not sure if I'll actually bother to sit down and magic find at some point. But I think I do have 2 rings for it now. Effort of saving space. I think I'll, oh, and there goes the connection. Okay, and wonderful. So, I guess I will see you guys in the next one, where the game hopefully doesn't crash. Alright, we're back. We had some connection issues there, which apparently didn't save the fact that I got to the lower Kurast waypoint, even though that's... Is that not how we got back? Pretty sure we were at it, but... Okay, backtracking it is. Oh, we are back on the trail. Gonna have to go say hi to Storm Tree again, I guess. I'm gonna have to watch it again because I'm pretty sure I came back through the waypoint. But I guess we'll have to chalk that up to unfortunate disconnects. So, since we have to cut through Flare Dungeon again, I'm gonna hold on to Fire Resist because Shaman's hurt. Heard a charm drop back here. defense. 1 defense per slot, oh boy. I'm excited. So we get the joy of going through this maze again. I'll probably keep this all in just because more fighting, more zealing. And just because I haven't done anything off screen yet on this character, so no point in starting now. I'm gonna run away from the flamethrowers. Hopefully we're heading in the right direction. Being in a new game now, we don't really know for sure whether what we're doing is correct. Just kind of have to assume. This is generally heading away from town, so unless the Great Marsh or Spider Forest was extremely windy, I have to assume I'm heading in the right direction. Not really sure what caused the internet issue there. I don't think my actual internet went out there. Could have been a server issue, maybe? I don't know. Have you guys been having server issues? I pretty much have only been on for this series. I haven't been playing other characters, so I'm not really sure about the server stability. Usually it's not too bad. I think we're getting close here. Usually that raft always makes me think we're coming to the next area. Although that's just conjecture. I don't actually know if it's even related. A lot of shamans this time. I felt like we got pretty lucky going through the previous zones. Didn't really run into them very much. I feel like there's a lot more this time. Trying to even things out. We're getting lucky in the past. Yeah, this feels like we're heading in the right direction now. Watch me be totally full of shit and we're just heading back. Here's the spider forest. Good job. As far as the last video, the main upgrade was I switched out my belt for one that just gave a ton of health. Just because I don't think my other belt was doing anything special. I think it was like faster hit recovery, something like that. Which compared to just getting 28 more health, felt like it was worth the trade. See, that's what you have to worry for, what I did right there. Full swing, but missed all the zeal hits. I mean, that's not likely, but it can happen. Now, once we get to the lower Kurast, we are looking for Kurast Bazaar and the sewers, because that will eventually lead us to the 3rd and 4th quest. And I think here we are, yep. So, same idea as before. Gonna try and lead them back here. Not get killed by lightning enchant. Let our Merc get in there a bit. Come on, Merc. I believe in you. No, you gotta hit him. There you go. Okay. That's done. Let's heal him up. Again, I do know there's a hotkey for it. Learned that mistake early in Act 1, I think. So, let's hope this time we actually get to keep the waypoint we find, which is usually just right up here, so let's go around a bit faster. I know I could be a lot more optimal with my aura swapping, either switching to cleansing or vigor where necessary. But I've been relatively static in sticking to my concentration aura just because I wanted to be ready for combat scenarios without really having vigor on. Probably means we get to pick our fights better, so it's just as useful. Okay, there we go. Lower Kurast. Did get it this time. Like I said, I might head back and get Great Marsh, but I'm in no real rush because there's nothing useful in there, so since we got lucky with the map layout, we didn't need to go through there, so now we're heading up and we need to find the way into the Kurast Bazaar. You'll remember these mobs from Act 2. They're the leaping guys. You meet a boss mob usually the second you come out of Loot Galing. These Zakram guys are actually pretty unique to this act. They're the corrupted Paladin order people kind of thing, which I'm sure is very demoralizing for our character, but now he knows how the rogues feel. I need to make sure to manage my stamina, which vigor here is going to help with. And it looks like we found the entrance. And here comes the new and improved Itchies. Now with 100% more red. Those always remind me of the one screensaver for like Windows 98 where it's just really fuzzy background, for lack of a better term. Pulse Drinker is mana burn, so goodbye Pulse Drinker. We do not care about that in this latest. I should probably switch to Gore Feet now that we're out of the fire mobs, but I'm going to try and find the waypoint before I head back. Now, in the bazaar there is the start of the ruined temples, which is for the 4th quest. There's also going to be sewer entrances which get you to the next zone, as well as it holds the Callum's Heart. So there's a bunch of these ruined temples, and the one that has the tome in it is the one with Battle Maid Serena. She is one of these flesh hunters. So just need to keep exploring them. Pretty good XP in the meantime. I think, oh, here she is. Pretty sure she's extra fast, spectral hit, something like that. And she's dead. That was pretty painless. And we got lucky and got on the first one. Oh. What is he? Spectral hit. Okay. Looks like we got a double feature here. Need to be careful of the meteors and the fireballs. At least our extra fire resist will help us out here with these vampire mobs. Mr. Pulsefester. Okay. Down they go. And boom. Lamb eyes and stone. So that all we need to do is hand that in to Alcor and we get extra stats. I believe, as I mentioned in the earlier part of probably now the same video, it also gives discount in the stores, I think. Pretty sure there's one for each act that does that, technically. Although maybe that's full of shit. But in any case, it'll give us a stat level, essentially, so we get 5 points. We're getting to the point where we have most of the dexterity we need, because in the next few levels we're going to get and start leveling Holy Shield, which will essentially counteract the fact that we need to be leveling dexterity. So we can probably chill out on dexterity for a while and start to focus on a bit of strength, get it up a bit higher so we can wear the next set of armor, and also then just start pumping vitality. So I'm gonna try and level up here if I can before we head back. We're going to be wanting to go into the sewers to get to the next zone and to find Callum's Heart. As far as what to worry about down there, I think the boss mob guarding the heart are the mummies from Act 2, and as we saw on our approach to Duriel, their dark bolts are pretty scary, so I'm going to be on my best watch there to make sure I don't get bursted to death. Let's talk to Alcor here. So we're gonna level up, and then we're gonna head down into the sewers again, deja vu, to find Heart and get on to the next zone. I'll see you guys then.